As wildfire season intensifies across Western Canada, communities in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba are facing widespread evacuations, rising smoke levels, and millions of dollars in damage. There are still a number of active wildfires burning across the prairies in Western Canada. But fortunately, thanks to some cooler, wet weather, firefighters have been able to get a number of those blazes under control. The News Forum's new Western Canada Bureau Chief, Hal Roberts, joined me from southern Alberta with an update on how residents and emergency crews are coping and what challenges still lie ahead. Hal, thank you so much for the time today.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
Now, let's start with the wildfire situation where you are in Alberta. How bad is it?
Theresa, so far this wildfire season, Alberta's seen 619 wildfires. But you know what? Thanks to cooler, wet weather in the central part of the province, firefighters have been able to get on top of most of them, with only 61 currently burning. Now, 19 of them, or 31%, are still out of control. And Theresa, 10 of the blazes are located in the northeast portion of the Slave Lake Forest area. Now, the northern part of the province has been extremely dry here. More than 1,000 Alberta firefighters and imported firefighters are battling blazes across the province. And firefighters from across Canada, along with Washington State, Oregon, and Idaho, have also joined in the fight.
So what was the cause of the majority of the wildfires? Was it arson or was it weather related?
Emergency officials say 66% of the fires so far this season were caused by humans, such as maybe an errant cigarette or a campfire left unattended. 17% are under investigation for potential arson, and 18% were caused by lightning.
And how much damage are we talking for Alberta with this wildfire season so far?
According to Alberta Wildfire, more than 670,000 hectares have burned so far, along with hundreds of structures. It's devastating. Now, that's around 40% higher than the one-year average for the season. And the total cost of damage from wildfires is still being added up, and it'll take some time. Now, as you may remember, according to the insurance industry, the Jasper wildfire alone cost the region $1.23 billion in damage.
And do we roughly know how many families have been forced from their homes across the prairies due to wildfires?
Theresa, more than 33,000 have been evacuated since the wildfires began in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. And sadly, 2 people have also died as a result of the wildfires. Smoke is also impacting many communities, particularly in the northern regions.
We've also seen a lot of devastating images of the wildfires still burning out of control in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Do you have a number for the other prairie provinces?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. In Saskatchewan, there have been 271 wildfires to date, but thanks to more rain and efforts of emergency personnel, there are only 25 active wildfires burning right now, mostly in the northern region. That includes McIntyre, Griswold, Giles, and the Hamel regions. Fortunately, they're not growing in size. More than 4,000 people have been forced to evacuate so far in Saskatchewan due to the wildfires. Now, some cooler, wet weather, just like here in Alberta, has allowed hundreds of folks in Creighton to return home after being evacuated about a month ago or so. And Saskatchewan government officials say $1.8 million in aid has been distributed to affected communities. Now, not only can folks return to their homes in Creighton, but the evacuation order was also lifted for the residents of Dunair Beach in Saskatchewan.
And how about across the border in Flin Flon, Manitoba? Have folks been allowed to return home yet?
Yeah, fortunately, they have. Around 5,000 residents were allowed to return home in Flin Flon on Wednesday following their wildfire evacuation. The town also set up a supply center that'll be open for the rest of the week. Now, Theresa, it'll allow locals to get mental health support, which is desperately needed right now, hygiene, food, and masks to help cope with the wildfire smoke. Now, the nearby wildfire is still burning, but it is being contained outside of the community. And fortunately, in Manitoba, the provincial state of emergency has been lifted. There are 18 wildfires still burning in the province, 8 in the northern region, 6 in the western part of the province, and 4 in eastern Manitoba. And there are 5 which are still listed as out of control. And the province has seen about 130 wildfires to date so far this season, and 107 were human-caused, which again means maybe somebody left a campfire unattended, or even heat from an exhaust can cause a fire. And only 19 were caused by lightning strikes.
Well, Hal, thank you for an update on the wildfire situation.
You're most welcome. Thanks, Theresa.